Eyesight is a wonderful gift from God. It is well known that we receive more than 80% of our daily information through our eyes. Yet we so often take our sight for granted. Waking up, we open our eyes and glance around our room. Looking out the window, we see the dawn, the rich colors of trees and plants, the flowers, and the blueness of the sky. Unfortunately, however, so often we are only interested in determining the weather so we can decide what to wear for the day. This is because we are often in such a hurry to go about our urgent affairs. We never imagine the possibility of a day without sight. According to statistics, there are about 40 million legally blind people in the world. 20 million of them have partial sight. Every year, over 1 million people lose their sight and are added to this ever-increasing. In Ukraine alone, there are about 200,000 blind and partially blind people. Each year, anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 people are added to this number. The reasons for losing one's sight can be hereditary diseases, different injuries, infections, and retinal detachment after childbirth. Older people, young people, and children can suddenly lose their sight. The poets glorify the eye, the artists paint it, but the real value of eyesight is hidden in the silent anguish of those who once had it and now have lost it. It is impossible to get accustomed to this sudden change. But we, people with sight, must make blind people understand that they are just as valuable in society as those with sight. People who become blind at an older age are faced with extreme difficulties. Not having developed skills for life without sight, they become helpless, not able to continue with the work they are trained to do. They feel lonely and like they have been deserted. They become seriously depressed, and some of them try to commit suicide. It was a very difficult time for me. I fell a lot, hurting myself. My face became disfigured. My soul became twisted. I didn't want to see anyone. When I became blind, it was only I and my problems and tragedies for 2 years. I was all alone. I never heard about any rehabilitation centers. When I was 27 years old, my former husband splashed sulfuric acid in my eyes. I was totally blind and left homeless with 2 little children. A lot of questions arose before me. How do I live? What do I do next? A person who has lost his sight becomes a burden to his wife and the whole family. I would like to feel like a normal person again, just to be able to go outside my apartment or go to the store. When I become blind, I couldn't do those things. This year, in March, a large group of unusual pedestrians appeared on the streets of Kiev. In an organized way, they moved across the sidewalks, tapping away with their walking sticks. Passers-by would stop and look at this group of seeing impaired. They were probably wondering, where did this unusual group come from? Each person in this group was invited by the Ministry to the Blind to go through rehabilitation. They weren't given the opportunity to learn how to adapt and actively live with their blindness in today's society. I lost my sight early on when I was 9 years old. Ever since then, I have tried to study how to move places while being blind. Different sounds around me and my walking stick have helped me. My wife and I, for 1 month, would like to share with others all our life experience from when we became blind. While developing the project for this rehabilitation center, a goal was set to combine 2 objectives: to give spiritual aid to the disabled and to help them adapt to their life without sight. At this center, blind people learn how to become oriented with their surrounding environments, both inside and out. They also learn how to resolve everyday household issues, such as housekeeping, cooking, and general hygiene. This woman is totally blind. At the Adaptation Center, blind people study the basics of massage and computer skills. This computer program is called JAWS. It is a screen reading software with a speaking mouse. Although we don't have our own housing accommodations for the center, we decided not to wait but to immediately open it, and so we are renting space in the House of Mercy Church in Kiev. Those who are visually impaired are special people. To some extent, they are like children, studying how to live all over again. This is why they are in such need of our care, our protection, and our encouragement. The most important thing in their new life is for them to find the right guide. I have already found a guide for myself. It is Jesus Christ. Now I can go calmly, never worrying. I know that Jesus is ahead of me. At this center, I prayed to God for the first time in my life. I came here so I can grow spiritually, and so I can be among the same people as myself. The main purpose of our spiritual center for the blind is the preaching of the gospel. Our graduating students are becoming future missionaries among the blind community. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Amen. Here at the Rehabilitation Center, we start each lesson with prayer. Our prayer is that Jesus will become their Lord and protect them in all their ways. Not hundreds, but thousands of people who have lost their sight sit at home and won't go outside. They are afraid to take a step in the streets. I know such people. My firm belief and confidence is that they need just such a rehabilitation center. We are looking for willing partners for the development of this rehabilitation center project. Together, we can carry out God's call to rescue those who are being taken away to death, hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter.